Go find out. Take it a table.
3187.
Just what you need.
When I opened it, I thought it was like a vase or flowers or something. I didn't know it was a plastic.
Coffee yet to come, but I hope that you'll forgive me by proceeding as you eat, because there is a bit of a program left. And I hope that if you'll bear with me, we can get into that right now. So please carry on and listen with one arm and one ear. You can eat close. My wife said to me just recently, there is nothing wrong with having nothing to say unless you insist on saying it. And I'm going to insist on that tonight because there are a few things that I'd like to say about this Rotary Club of Strathroy. It's been said that the true growth of Rotary results from club extension. When Strathroy became the 28,844th club, members in our 465 districts around the free world probably didn't even burp. But in a small measure, you know, the Rotary dream of extending into China, into Poland, into Russia, perhaps became a little closer to reality. You see, when an organization of business and professional men and women, united over 1 million strong, who provide humanitarian service and who encourage high ethical standards in all vocations and help build bridges of goodwill and understanding and peace in the world, that's potent stuff. This historic evening then is symbolic of the bold and important initiatives being taken by Rotary International around the world. It's a very special privilege to be a Rotarian, in particular, a charter member of a new club. We are honored, all of us here tonight, to witness the initiation of these Rotarians. They've been chosen to be members of this club because they are leaders in their vocations and because they manifest the qualities which interpret and impart the message of Rotary. They've already learned that the 4 avenues of service, the 4-way test, touch, and transform individual, business, and social contexts. By applying the Rotary Creed, service above self, they enrich the prospects of others around the world. It's been an arduous task, really, in reaching this historic occasion, as some of you know. We all know the difficulty and soul-searching decisions that were made by the Board of Directors of Rotary International to transform the organization in North America, at least, to a service club which would include both men and women. But the background of this club can be highlighted perhaps by the following significant occasions. On May the 2nd, 1986, and it seems a long time ago now, but I sent a letter to Del McLennan, who was the president of the Rotary Club of London, and it read in part as follows. You are no doubt aware of the long talked about aspiration to develop a Rotary Club in the town of Strathroy. There appears to be fertile ground, and with the increasing industry and growth in Strathroy, it may be a useful time in which to pursue it in earnest. And on May 30th of that year came the following response. Your letter reached the directors' meeting held on May the 28th. To say the least, they were most enthusiastic about your proposal to develop a Rotary Club at Strathroy. They are quite aware that this will not be an easy matter, as it has been attempted before on at least one occasion, but they agreed to give you any help and encouragement that this project might entail. That letter was signed by the then Secretary, Rudy Eberhard. In June of 1986, District Governor Gord Campbell gave the nod to appoint a special representative to form the club, and in June and July of that year, community surveys were undertaken to ensure vocational diversity that would be required. On July 21st and August 25th, information meetings were held at Strathroy Golf and Country Club, and members of the support group at that time included Tom Lawson and Peter Twinstra, Murray Wood, Glenn Johnson, and Don Payne, all Rotarians from London. On September 29th of that year, 1986, the first provisional meeting of the Rotary Club of Strathroy took place, at which the first guest speaker included past District Governor Jack Hamady and past District Governor at that time, Gord Campbell. John Hart, strangely enough, vocation barrister and solicitor, was the only one of the 11 prospective members from that night who becomes a charter Rotarian tonight on the 4th of February 1989. Other visiting Rotarians at the first meeting included Matthew Hogerhorst from Watford, Bert Willis, Jim Valancourt, and Jack Townsend from Benco, some of whom are here tonight. In October of 1986, a mentor program was undertaken to align prospective executive members with experienced Rotarians from the sponsored club. And a number of visits from various Rotarians and greetings were expressed over the next many months by successive presidents and successive district governors. And they included in Gord Campbell's year, Del McLennan, the president from London. In 86-87, under Jerry Whitmore, Ken Hurd, who is here tonight, was the president of London. In 87-88, under Art Lockhead, Bob Gallagher, who is here tonight, was the president of the sponsoring club. And of course, the 88-89 year, Graydon Baines, and sponsoring club president Jim Belton. All of those men have been most helpful in encouraging this club to come along to the point where it is tonight. But during the balance of 1986 and for the full year during 87 and 88, there were highs and lows, I can tell you, in that club. There was some discouragement when some of us sat around with 2 or 3 members, sometimes 5 or 6, week after week. But you know, hope was never lost, nor was optimism waning, that someday there would in fact be a Rotary Club here in Strathroy. Among the other supporting Rotarians from other clubs who participated in programs during that lengthy period of time included Jim Belton and Mike Zandri, who's here tonight, Bob Nelson, John Given, Peter Rath, Tom Johnson, Bob Gallagher, Brian Carroll, Murray Faulkner, Ross Emery, Morris Oliver, and others. In June of 1987, perhaps a watershed, Fran and I returned back from the Munich International Convention, where we reported that President Matt Kaparis had said from the podium, and I'm quoting, "And now the Rotary world welcomes women into membership." But upon reporting that message, the Strathroy Club, with renewed vigor, set about finding additional members who qualified. The idea spread, and it wasn't long before new vitality came strutting into the provisional club in the form of 6 Strathroy women from the professional sector. That's not the red light district. Little did I know that almost a year and a half would go by before recognition of women in Rotary in Canada would become a reality. But in October 1988, the Board of Directors of Rotary International agreed to extend the constitutional exception from the United States to Canada, thereby allowing women to join, and the charter application was immediately resubmitted. December 6, 1988, Rotary International welcomed into membership the Rotary Club of Strathroy. Charter night presentation date was scheduled immediately, and here we are. Now, as was editorialized in a bulletin of the Rotary Club of London just recently, and I'm quoting, "This is a new beginning for Rotary. The admission of women will bring great benefits to Rotary for the future." The women have indeed brought new energy and a new perspective to Rotary, new ways of approaching old tasks and new initiatives not considered before. Rotary has indeed entered the 20th century. The integrity of the club was illustrated when its first application for a charter was rejected. How did the club react? They reacted with a motion passed unanimously on December the 1st, 1987. And worthwhile, I think, repeating for purposes of this abbreviated historical sketch. It was moved by John Hart, seconded by Marcel Durdel as follows. Whereas the membership of the Provisional Rotary Club of Strathroy consists of both men and women from the business community in Strathroy and Territory, and whereas it is appropriate in a free and democratic society that men and women have equal access to the privileges and responsibilities of membership in Rotary, therefore be it resolved that an application be made to charter the Strathroy Rotary Club with the entire present membership shown on the application as charter members, and that the club continue to operate as a provisional club until such charter is granted. It took a long time, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is the stuff of which this club is made. For that tenacity, that mutual respect, that commitment to diversity, the Rotary Club of Strathroy deserves the admiration of the Rotary world, and as our new Rotarian neighbors, our own support and our own admiration. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rotary Club of Strathroy. Pleasure now to call upon that recycled governor from way back in the early part of this decade. As I do so, I'm reminded that like his predecessors, like Gord and like Jerry, and like Art Mohead, Graydon made a regular annual visit to this club this past fall in 1988. I must tell you that the club prepared weeks to receive District Governor Grady. The men wore three-piece suits on the assigned day. Tables were set, the lines were prepared. There's only one problem: no one thought to invite the governor. He's been invited tonight, and it's a pleasure to have Grady Main say a few words.
Evening tonight, past director Charlie Fogel and his wife Bernice, who were so kind when I asked them to come and be your guests tonight. And I know they had to leave home and perhaps they weren't sure of the weather on the way up, but here they are, and I'm so happy that they could be with us tonight. I would also welcome my past district governors. I'm a past as well as a present, but it is indeed a nice occasion to welcome all those pleasant faces tonight that I see when I travel around the district. You don't know how heartening it is to greet old friends that you have met years and years ago, and I have indeed enjoyed this, my past 7 months. I have 5 more months to go, and I am enjoying every bit of it. You know, this is an occasion when it doesn't happen very often in our district. I hope that it will happen once more this year, because we could stand all the members that we can get. We need new blood into our organization, and I'm happy to say that with the ladies coming into Rotary, they will indeed put new blood into Rotary. This past week, I received a fax comm from our Council on Legislation, which just finished their meetings in Singapore, in which it was a great vote. I won't say it was unanimous, but it was almost, in believing that women should be involved in Rotary throughout the world. And I indeed endorse that recommendation. And and I hope that this will bring a lot of new faces into Rotary, that we can actually meet and go ahead with all the work that Rotary International is famous for, because we can do a lot more good with a lot more people, and I'm sure that these ladies will do a great deal for us old fellows in Rotary. You know, this past yesterday, today being Saturday, but yesterday, I had the privilege of going down and sending off the first ladies group study exchange that this district has ever had. These 4 ladies, along with their group leaders, have left for Australia. They will be in Australia right now, and I'm sure that they will do our district proud. And when they come back, they will be bringing back with them the ladies from their district in Australia. This is a district that is in Sydney, around Sydney. It's a very small, concise district, but has about the same amount of members as we have. I hope that we could do something that they have been able to do year after year at their particular conference. When they have their conference in Sydney, of the 2,200 people that they have in their district, their governor, who was over here to see me not long ago, told me that they never have less than 1,500 at their particular district conference. Wouldn't it be great if I could have bring to our eye and say I had 1,500 at my district conference? This would be a great thing, and I would look forward to being able to show up that district in Australia that we could do just as well as they can. Tonight, of course, is your charter night for this particular district or club, and it is for the district as well, of course, and I wish you all would share in it with me. And this particular charter, I'm going to present to Gordon Hale as the president of your club. And I will read the charter to you. This certifies that the Rotary Club of Strathroy, Ontario, Canada, having been duly organized and having agreed through its officer and members to be bound by the Constitution and bylaws of Rotary International, which agreement is accepted by this acceptance of this certificate, is now duly admitted a member of Rotary International and is entitled to all the rights and privileges of such membership. Gordon? Which I cut down about 25 years ago, and I've had it made by a Rotarian of our club, Cease Rutherford, and this is a gavel that I hope that you will all enjoy over the years.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to take a moment and do something that I wanted to do for about 6 months. coffee cups at the club so far. That's over. Governor Baines, ladies and gentlemen, Rotarians all, taking a long time. And yet, we have persevered. And I think many people have attempted to come to grips with what the Strathroy Rotary Club has been able to do during its provisional time and during its 60 days as a Rotary Club. And while we do recognize that Rotary means many things to many people, some of which we see here tonight as the four-way test, the objects of Rotary, we even have used the Rotary theme on our coverage night, and all of these are certainly very important aspects of Rotary. But to us in Strathroy, while we certainly support all of that, Rotary is more. Rotary is motivation. And our motivation is a matter of human understanding. Motivation becomes a process of encouraging people to go as far as possible towards their aspirations. In simple language, to meet their dreams, their hopes, their goals. Tonight certainly exemplifies that. Their efforts must be recognized and rewarded, and they certainly must be made to feel wanted. And even during our short period of time as a club, both in the provisional form and in our now full-blown Rotary form, we have been able to certainly see that all that is possible. Motivation comes down to treating people with respect for their individuality and consideration for their feelings. It means caring about others and about their personal well-being. It means allowing people to show what they can do. It means encouraging and helping them to reach their full potential. Our sponsoring Rotary Club of London has certainly provided all of this for us. When you think about it, motivation is not that much different from friendship. It then follows that Rotary is friendship. And a friend attempts to understand you and to help you meet your goals. A friend is concerned about you and tries within the limits of his or her ability to make you happy. A friend is someone who supports you and knows that he or she can count on your support in return. Above all, a friend is someone who will go out of his or her way to do things for you. The motivation for them is nothing more than the knowledge that you would do the same for him or her. As you can see, Rotary does have many facets to it. The four-way test, as I mentioned, the objects of Rotary, the themes of Rotary, and of course for us, we feel Rotary is a motivator, and we have certainly experienced the friendship of Rotary. We, the charter members of the Strathroy Rotary Club, are very fortunate to be part of District 633 and to have so many friends who will encourage, guide, and motivate us as we endeavor to achieve our future goals. As the president of the Rotary Club of Strathroy, it is my sincere pleasure to accept this charter on behalf of each and every charter club member.
You can detect that the Rotary Club of Strathroy is in excellent hands under the leadership of Gordon Hale. And now that you have heard Gordon, the president, you will want to meet the rest of the Rotarians. And so with Graydon's help, as he makes some presentations, would you welcome firstly, and I'll call them one at a time, counseling, social work, president of Search, an agency in Strathroy. Do you have any head problems? See. Robert Bailey, Law Enforcement Provincial, Detachment Commander and Sergeant, Ontario Provincial Police, Strathroy Detachment, the guy you don't want to meet going home tonight. Ian Berry, who you've met before as the Sergeant at Arms, Auto Parts Manufacturing, General Manager, CAE Magnesium Products Limited. Jerry Briggs, Vocation Auto Parts Manufacturing, Additional Active, Manager of Personnel, CAE Magnesium Products Limited. Marilyn Buttery, Vocation Financial Planning, Financial Planner with Tilcan Financial Corp. No, you've changed vocations. The Investment Center. Peter Catless, Vocation Kind Materials Manufacturing, President Embelex Limited. Peter has been the free trade expert, and after speech on free trade, next, Joyce Cushman, General Banking Manager, Personal Banking, the Royal Bank of Canada. What more needs to be said, OJ? Marcel Durdell, Corporate Banking Manager, Royal Bank Independent Business Center. Treasurer and the heavy, not necessarily in that order. Thomas Enright, Administrator, Hospital and Institution, Strathroy, Middlesex General Hospital. Former Rotarian from Sault Ste. Marie, Tom Enright. Grant Fish, Vocation Lawn and Garden Products. Owner, McRitchie Distributing, known sometimes as a hard-working fun lover. Janet N. Gibbons, Real Estate Law Partner, Solicitor, Murray E.H. Jones and Company. Janet Gibbons, no smoking, huh? David Gray, Property and Casualty Insurance, Broker, Secretary Treasurer, Malcolm Gray Insurance, Club Service Director. I've got to tell you a little bit more about Gordon Hale if I can. Gordon Hale, elementary education, would you believe, principal, Coburn Public School. One of the very best at promoting loyalty within school. I know that because Gord took his 13-year-old son, Jeff, who's with us tonight now in his late 20s, out to a supper club when he had his birthday that night. And talk about loyalty. I can tell you that the report I heard was that Gord blanched as the dancers at that supper club came out with a very few black feathers and a swatch of red satin about them. And much to his embarrassment, he looks at his son who's leaning over excitedly saying, "Dad, do you know what I see? They're wearing our school colors." True story. John Hall, Vocation Automotive Sales, President and General Manager, ex-AC Hall Motors. He's the best used car salesman on the lot. He just sold his whole business. John Hart, what do you say about a general practitioner? Partner, barrister, and solicitor, Little Reeves, Hart, Maloney, and Jarrett. How does it feel to be the oldest Strathroy Rotarian? Fred Hoffner, Accounting Services, Fred C. Hoffner, Accountant, Certified Accountant, the Bean Counter. Where's Fred? Ian McLaren, Surveyor, IC McLaren Limited, Owner and Operator, the ex-club photographer. That's the main joke, and he's got no sense of humor. Actually, when he went away to college, they thought he was taking up aeronautics because his dad said he was just taking up space. Terry Morgan, would you believe, a previous Rotarian from Stratford, St. Catharines, Rotary Club of London North, Rotary Club of London, trust companies move these guys around. He's the manager of Royal Trust Company here in Strathroy. Jim Morrison, past president of this club, past provisional president of this club. Trust company, Royal Trust Company, and I got to tell you that Jim did a lot of work in gathering this group together last year before Gord's year started. As a matter of fact, I think Ann Wolfe would agree that he appeared to have postpartum blues. He gave his swan song speech as the ex-president at 3 successive Rotary meetings. Jim Morrison. Alan Nissen, vocation handicapped equipment manufacturer, the owner of Can-Dab Rehabilitation Services, our Denmark connection. He's already made the Easter Seal connection by teaching them something about prosthetics. Welcome, Alan. Terry Phillips. General banking is her classification, additional active. She's the consumer loans officer of the Imperial Bank of Commerce. And would you believe she just recently changed her name so she could become a Rotarian? Lieutenant Bruce Reed, you've already met. Vocation Religion, Salvation Army. He is the commanding officer with the Strathroy District Salvation Army. And he's always got a spot for you on the kettles at Christmas time. Dr. P.C. Shaw sends his regrets. P.C. is traveling in India. He's going to be taking the greetings of the Rotary Club of Strathroy to 4 clubs while he's abroad. P.C. is in medicine. He's with pathology. He is a pathologist with the Strathroy General Hospital. P.C. Shaw. Hilliard, sometimes affectionately known as Hill Stewart, not because of his size, I'm sure. Vocation, life insurance, self-employed independent agent, life insurance with Mutual Life. I gotta tell them, this is the ex-reeve of a township just north of the village. And Hill was showing a Strathroy visitor to his ranch the other day. They bumped along the concession road in the back of his pickup, and a big bird bounces in front of Hill, and he says, "That's the bird of paradise." And John down there from Strathroy says, "He's a long way from home, isn't he?" We've already met Dr. John Thyrett, Chiropractic Services. He's a chiropractor in his own firm, nicknamed Bones. Ann Wolfe, vocation real estate sales, Remax 4-city real estate broker. Doesn't she look great? The truth is, Ann is the reason why, Governor Haynes, that this charter has been so late. No, her gestation period was supposed to be 9 months. It was a little more than 9, and Ann, would you believe it or not, just gave birth to an 11-pound bouncing baby boy. She's also the only Rotarian that I know of that has been able to get a pregnancy leave of absence from Rotary. Presentations to be made, and I would call on Gord Campbell with 2 assisting presidents to come forward and make those presentations now. Gord Campbell is going to be presenting each of the Rotarians with their charter membership pins, with the assistance of Jim Delton and Tom Bell. Would you care to say a few words, past District Governor Gordon, while your helpers are passing out the pins?
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and new charter members of the Rotary Club of Strathroy. Really, I have nothing to say, but I had a problem this afternoon. I wasn't just sure how I was going to pin both the... We've got the answer. Just how I was going to pin the 2 men members. I I've had it a few times. But I've never had the pleasure of meeting ladies. Tom and I are going to watch it. My speech is over. But having given it a lot of thought, and knowing that I might just make a slip the wrong way, I decided that I better not do anything. And another thing that entered my mind was that up to this date, I had never kissed a Rotarian. So I thought tonight I'd better stick to that fact. I'm not going to kiss anybody. I know.
As Gord is shaking the hands and kissing whoever he wants to kiss, I'm going to call upon Jack Luttrell to come forward and make his presentation. And his helpers will be Bob Cunningham and Lee Hanron. Jack, your helpers will be presenting a desk four-way test emblem to each of the new Rotarians.
Thank you, John. Chairman John. He not only pinned, but he kissed the Rotarian. Chairman John, Director Charlie, Governor Braden, past district governors in the audience, our head table guests, the Honorable Ralph, Your Worship, Dick, charter members, ladies and gentlemen, it's a distinct pleasure to be here tonight as we charter a club that comes close to being the 24,000th club in Rotary. And as far as we know, it is the first club in Canada to be chartered with both male and female members. To you, Gord, and to John, this is almost your bar mitzvah. A great deal is going to be expected of you in the future. The Charter Rotarians, you joined a group of 1,062,000 men and women around the world dedicated to service to humanity. I've been a member of Rotary for some 30 years now, and I have found it a most exhilarating and rewarding experience, and I know each of you will find it just that. You are now receiving from a couple of presidents the four-way test. I should tell you that the first year I was at Rotary, a member of our club was the dean of the local community college, and he told us of an incident that happened a few weeks before the club meeting. It seems that there was a difference between the fees paid by students who were members of the immediate district and those outside the district. And this student had been into the dean to get his tuition fees modified because he was supposedly inside the district. After leaving the dean's office with the dean's approval, he happened to notice the four-way test which hung above the entrance to the dean's office. He read through it, returned to the dean and said, "I'm sorry, Dean Browning, I live outside the district. I just saw that plaque that says it. Is it the truth? And I'm sorry it isn't." So the four-way test is really marvelous. It's what we live on in Rotary, and it makes each of us, I hope, better humanitarians in the world today. Congratulations to each of you. It's a pleasure to serve in this district with Rotarians such as you, and it's a delight to have some beautiful women in Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack, so much for those very thoughtful comments. Pleasure now to call upon Pat McAvinci, District Governor nominee 1991, to make a presentation with the help of Joe Stockhauser and Lee Hansen. Rotarian Pat.
Rotarians, ladies, distinguished guests, and our new Strathroy people. I'm extremely pleased to be here tonight and to have the opportunity to present you with the object of Rotary, with some neckties that are Rotarian neckties, and I can hardly wait for another year when I can put you all to work.
While those presentations are being made, I'll call Governor Great Remains to say a few more words.
Tonight, of course, RI particularly wants to give some memento to the man who is my representative as a club extension, and my man I have this year is John Eberhard, of course. John has done so much in this particular district and in London particularly in organizing new clubs. I think you can find that John is responsible for some of the other clubs that are in this particular area. And so it is with a great deal of honor that I present to John this particular award that is given by RI International.
There was a high-level conference going on there, Brady. I'm sure whatever you said was... Don't say it again. Thank you very much.
Would Jim Melton come forth, please? Jim, I would ask that you would accept this particular swatch that you would put on your banner of your particular club, because Rotary RI has sent it to me to give to you to make sure that your club is given all due honor for all the work that you have done in organizing clubs in Illinois.
Great, thank you very much. And on behalf, I would ask Ken Hurd and Bob Gallagher to stand, who were very much instrumental in this club being started as presidents of our club. And on behalf of them and Del McClellan, I accept this and thank you very much.
I have also been asked to read a letter from our director for Zone 2, Curly Galbraith from Calgary, Alberta. Curly is presently on his way home or somewhere in the neighborhood of Singapore.